lately, some women are advocating that women shouldn't get married because they are slaves to men in marriage. Of course, we are all aware that more women have died in marriage than being single. Whereas you see some categories of men, particularly led by Gigi, insisting that men shouldn't get married, that they have nothing to gain, and therefore they should dissolve the union called marriage. Now, let's see what data has to say. The question is, how long does marriage last in Nigeria? Let's look at the screen above. You see this chart. It refers to the duration of marriages ending in divorce or separation in Nigeria. As you can see from the first bar, marriages between 0 to 4 years have 25% chances of divorce. Then as the age increases from 5 to 9 years, it has 40% chances of divorce. That means people will not marry or don't stay in marriage between 5 to 9 years, 40% of them will divorce. But then the dynamic changes from 10 years to 14 years. The possibility of divorce declines to 20%. Then it still declines to 15% for those married greater than 15 years. That shows from 10 years above, if you've stayed in your marriage for more than 10 years, the likelihood of divorce decreases. In general, most marital breakdowns in Nigeria occur within first 0 to 10 years. 65% of marriages break down within this age duration. Now, let's see. A lot of women say our mothers stayed in marriage because, they tolerated a lot from Nigerian men. Let's see what education has to do with this. Now, you can see on the screen, this chart refers to education level and divorce in Nigeria. Those without formal education, they have 5% chances of divorce. Literally, people who don't get education are actually poor pass. Generally, you see that the poor, they hardly divorce. They are more stable in their marriage compared to the rich. Let's go further. Those with primary education, they get 7% chances of divorce. Secondary education, 10%. Tertiary education, 15%. You see, the more they get educated, the more the divorce they increase. Now, what is the problem? You understand? Now, the more educated women become or men become, the less they want to stay in marriage because they prioritize other important things. Now at that stage, they have autonomy, they have financial stability, they have access to legal mechanism, which they would most likely leave. Now, let us see marriage stability in Nigeria then versus now. As you can see on the chart, you see in 1990s, about 80% marriages last. But now in 2020s, the woke generation, Gen Z generation, about less than 66% stay in marriage. The more woke we become, the less we value the stability in marriage. Now, what could be the problem? Let us see the reasons for divorces. Now, look at the chart above. This refers to the factors shortening marriage duration in Nigeria, ranked by impact. The first has to do with economic hardship. Of course, as a man, say if you don't get money, marriage no go sweet. You understand? Women prioritize financial stability a lot in marriage, and this has caused a lot of divorce. She go come and say, you're not emotionally there, and I lie. And money where you don't get, marriage no dey sweet. And the most painful thing is that some men, even not having this money, they are still violent. They are still cheating. So why would the woman stay? Some of them go man is okay, you don't get money, more could they pack it. But then you don't get money, you see they cheat. You understand? You see you are still hitting the woman. Of course she's gonna leave. Then the second reason, domestic violence, which a lot of women report. Mostly women they get domestic violence in marriage. And that factor is unemployment. The men face this the most. As a man, would say your marriage is sweet or love day. Once you go broke, and then you can know what you marry. As money they no go sweet. You understand? But now, unemployment is not really the issue. Some women still complain that their husband is unemployed, but they are footing the family. But then, if as a man you are unemployed, you're not putting any efforts to get a job. You're just relaxed, allowing the woman to shoulder the responsibility at home. Of course, if you get to a point that she will just want to live and sustain on her own. Then another reason is urbanization and changing gender roles. You see, these days, men still want traditional women to support financially and also take care of the house, of which a lot of women are declining. And still, some women want traditional men. You understand? They don't want to contribute to the house because recently one income would hardly sustain household. Men are looking for women that will contribute. Women are looking for providers while they keep their own. So these gender roles, they cause some kind of imbalance in marriage, which they also lead to divorce. And another one is fertility or childlessness. Men they mostly report this one. They will leave their wife because she cannot give them a child. But as you can see, in all these reasons for divorce, cheating not be among. Generally, women are okay with cheating as long as the man doesn't go broke. You understand? That's a lot of rich men, they cheat because then it doesn't affect their marriage. But they know that as soon as they go broke, that is the end. So they do whatever it takes to still provide or still have their resources intact. So these are the reasons. You can do whatever you want with this information. I remain your friend, Ketu Economists.